guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we're back with part 3 of the update for the My Little Pony LP, the speed build of Sweet Apple Acres. So here is actually, this is cut directly after part 2, so you can see like it just completely goes right into it, because I was just doing a lot of it all at once, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't want it to be, you know, just a 15-hour video, so I kind of cut the parts up, so I'm sorry if it kind of cuts off fast and then cuts in fast. But this is what I was talking about in the last part, where I really loved this swing and I wanted to use it. I found this little shelf thing that was custom content, and I'm like, oh, you know, it kind of just looks like a little box that you could hang on the wall, and it's like simple enough, and it doesn't look, I mean, it's kind of just, it's got a little bit of a, like, you know, texture to it or whatever, but I was like, oh my god, and I can hang it, adjust it so it looks like the porch swing is hanging off of it, like it's a support for the swing and everything, and I'm like, yay! So I could actually use that swing on the front porch. And here I'm just kind of messing, trying to figure out what color I want to use with it, because they do have like kind of bright colors, and then like the wood colors are kind of like funky looking. They're weird, but I really do like it. So I think I went with the white, because there is like a green color, but it still looks a little white. Like I wasn't sure, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so I really wanted to use it, but I'm really kind of happy with how that worked. With that weird shelf thing, you know, that I actually had something that I could put above it and hang and make it look like it, you know, kind of belonged there, so it wasn't just kind of like dangling out of nowhere. I tried adjusting the walls down, and that just looked terrible. You know, because then it screwed up the entire barn, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. And I was trying to find like a table or something to go next to it, and I just wasn't having luck, so I'm like, you know what, I'll do the decorating, I'll start doing the landscaping. I end up completely changing the landscaping because I'm doing it, and I'm like, okay, I get all this stuff done, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. It's like a hot mess. So I ended up changing it. It's still a little bit of a mess, but, you know, I kind of use a lot of, like, the wildflowers and stuff like that, so that it looks, you know, just like a bunch of stuff. Like, nobody's out there actually gardening that stuff. It's just, you know, there for being pretty. I really do like those giant round bushes, but they just, I think I end up taking them out or whatever, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, some days I'm on point with landscaping and I'm like, oh, look, that looks cool, and other times I'm doing this and I'm like, what in the hell am I doing? This looks like all of nature threw up in here, and it's like everything possible jammed into one thing, and it just looks totally off. I mean, and I'm like, yeah, wow, no one would ever pay me to landscape their house if I turned up and did this, and I was like, holy crap, this is just bad. Especially because I didn't want it to be like how that was like perfectly edged. I didn't want it to do that. I wanted it to be messy and everything, and I was like, yep, nope, can't take it. So I just kind of got rid of everything, and just started all over, and I can't remember what I did. Like, I think I just, you know, kind of put some of this, and I put some wildflowers and everything, you know, because I just wanted something, some detail right over there, but I didn't want it to be like a garden. I didn't want it to look like perfectly situated, like, oh, somebody's over there all the time. I just want it to look like, you know, just you threw down a bunch of wildflower seeds and that's what happened. Like, so, and I'm so dumb because I didn't even like realize that, like, hi, there's different colors of these flowers until like later on when I was doing landscaping in another section. I'm like, oh, stupid. Like, I never looked, because I'm always like, I'll just throw some things, and I don't pay that much attention to the landscaping and everything usually. Kind of just, I'll just throw some stuff down, some wildflowers. Like, I don't, like, oh, let me see, I need to find the right color, and like, so this is like a hot mess. It really is really cluttery and crazy looking, and it's just like over the top. And okay, so I did actually get rid of it. I'm like, I don't really remember what it looked like at the end, but I'm like, alright, so it's like a mess, you know, and of course I love putting like the rocks everywhere because it just adds a little bit of something, even though, you know, there's like way too many flowers in that, and it's like, it's insane. So I think, yeah, okay, I'm like, I think I do take some of the stuff out to try to just make it a little sparse in areas so it looks a little more natural and a little less, you know, holy crap, we're gonna die in these crazy fields of flowers. And I really did want to use the sunflowers because I really do like them. So, you know, I kind of made some of them bigger, so we have like really tall sunflowers and stuff. And I didn't want it to look, you know, planned, like, oh, it's got to be even and perfect. Like, sometimes I like doing that, but this area I just wanted it to be like kind of like a natural mess. So that's kind of, you know, what happened. And I'm just, you know, doing the texture underneath it, so, you know, kind of looks, you know, like a little gardeny area where things are growing. And I think these little baskets might actually be like work as planters, like, you know, so you could plant like, you know, like the pots, but you can plant things in the planters. Oh my god. I'm like having a really hard time with overdubbing at the moment. I'm like, I don't know, I'm doing some stuff and there's like a tree there and I don't know, like, so I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I have not been drinking. I just am like at a loss for words. But yeah, so yeah, and obviously I'm just putting some trees in, because of course it's a farmhouse, and you know, it may be on a farm, and that little patch over there might be where we're going to have all of our plants, but there would still be trees. It would still be kind of natural. I didn't want it to be too full of trees, because sometimes trees get really annoying, especially like, sorry, I just bashed my microphone. It looks really cute when they're right by the house, you know, but then you end up with trees inside your house, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, so, and here I'm just having a really terrible time doing the worst job ever of trying to build a pool that has a rough kind of rounded out edge, so that when I put like the rocks and all sorts of stuff around it, you know, it looks like a natural little like a pond kind of a thing. like that's really symmetrical. I'm like, okay, like it actually does end up coming out quite nice, but it looks a little like a hot mess at the moment. You know, so yeah, just don't judge me by like how terrible this is at the moment. So bad. So bad. But yeah. So I kind of, you know, I just wanted to get a basic kind of shape, and you know, I'm gonna obviously you fix that shape with like all the rocks and everything like that. So I mean, it was just a ton like of surface area to cover, but I think, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm happy with it, because otherwise I would have redone it. But that kind of corner area over there where I'm putting all these big rocks, I actually, again, you know, never thought of it until I saw another build basically on how to like make a waterfall, because I've done like the rocks and everything around like pools to make it look like a natural pond or whatnot. Like I did that in my Time Lord challenge, like outside the TARDIS there is like the little natural looking lake pond thingy, but I never really thought of putting like the water fountains, like the fountain things, inside the rocks to make it look like a waterfall. So I actually do that over in that corner, because I'm like, ooh, it's the perfect time to use that little trick, you know? So yeah, so we're just kind of, I feel like I could have like, I sped this up about as much as I do like all the videos, but I feel like it's going so slow. Like, I feel like this is like real time, me adjusting the rocks. Like, is this sped up at all? Like, holy crap. It actually isn't that long of a video, but I'm like, alright, so like 16 out of the almost 17 minutes that this is going to be, you know, me putting rocks around a pool, but hey, whatevs. So I'll just try to be... Okay, so here's some rocks, and then I put down some rocks, and oh look, we're actually putting plants around it. I actually really love those plants. They're like, I don't know, I just do. They're cute. Yeah, so I'm just kind of putting like the stuff around. I kind of wish you could take the trim off the pool somehow, because that's what kind of ruins the effect of like, oh look, you can make it look like it's like a pond, and then you're like, no you can't, because it's got this nice trim around it, which kind of just ruins it for like, you know, when you have the area that's open for where they can climb into the pool. I don't actually know if I don't think I put a pool ladder, because that would just be kind of, I don't know, I want to be like, that would just be dumb in a pool that's not supposed to look like a pool, but I probably did, because, you know, whatever. But yeah, so I'm just putting some of these like flowers and stuff like that around the pool, kind of just to kind of soften up the edges so it's not so, you know, flat edged, and it kind of looks a little more rounded and stuff. and just giving them just a little area. And I think I did it in actually 2 spots where they can climb in and out of the pool. So, you know, so we've got that little bit. So, you know, because I guess I did put a pool ladder in because that looks okay, whatever. Well, you know, legit, if you had like a lake, you could build like a little pier. I should have taken that pier out of debug mode and put it in that, like, just to look ridiculous. That I don't think that would have fit. I don't think we have enough plot for that, but yeah. And so I'm kind of just doing like the little dirt area around the edges, because, you know, natural looking. Just that little detail. You know, and I never normally would ever think to do things like that, but like after you watch, like, you see like other things and you're like, oh yeah, that little bit of detail just makes all the difference. Makes it look a little more natural. It's just like that little, it's just a little something extra. So yeah, so I'm kind of just doing all of that, and I think this is where I'm trying to find the fountains. I kind of, like, those are the only one, like, there's very few fountains that have, like, the animation so you can actually see them. I kind of hate that they don't in, like, buy mode, because I don't have a sim living on the slot, so I can't, like, test it and, like, see, does it look okay, does it look kind of stupid, like, what, but I think it looks alright. I mean, I'll have to see what it looks like in gameplay, and I might have to end up adjusting it, but I mean, for what I could do, it was the best I could do without being able to, you know, actually see it running. But yeah, because like only a few of the fountains have like that you know, the animation, so you can really see, oh, this is where it's going to go. This is how much space it's taking up. But yeah, and then I actually, you know, I never play with like all the outdoor retreat stuff, and I never go to Granite Falls like on vacation with my Sims because I really don't like camping. But I really do like some of the furniture that came with it, like the little bench that I put out before. I love that. It's so cute, and I don't know, I do like it. So yeah, and then we're putting our, of course, our perfect patio or whatever it is, you know, table out, because I really do like that table. I love the tables with umbrellas. You know, and then I was like, ooh, we need to have a horseshoes thing, the little horseshoe thing. You know, and a fire pit. We needed kind of all that stuff because, you know, I may not play with, like, all the outdoor stuff, but, you know, hey, this is the Apple family, and they are totes into, like, all of that stuff, so I could see them, like, hanging out, you know, after having, like, a little outdoor party, you know, just hanging out, roasting marshmallows, making s'mores, that kind of stuff, so, yeah. So then, of course, I did, like, the little dirt kind of texture around that, because, you know, you have a fire pit there, you wouldn't be having it on grass, your grass would catch on fire. That's not cool. Yep, and just decorating that up. Kind of trying to, like, fade it in a little so it's not, like, you know, it's a huge brown patch, you know, it would be kind of a little mixed, and I'm just kind of, like, trying to soften up the edges a little bit, even though it's not working as well as I would have liked, but, you know, hey, it's all good. You have to, you know, it's gonna look a little natural, so just kind of messing with that. Yeah, okay, so, and then I ended up, there was the part that you didn't see, was, like, just adding a little bit more of the ground texture. So it looks like, you know, it's a little bit lighter in that dirt path. But yeah, because I had filmed these on different days, but I kind of figured because we're still doing the outside and we're still doing some of the landscaping area, that it, you know, could fit all together in the same thing. But it's like, after doing so much at a time, like after you spend like an hour or two, I'm like, I need to stop, and then I come back. So, I mean, some of these aren't going to be totally cohesive. It's not like a nice flow. I didn't plan like, oh, I'm going to go in, just do this area and stop, and then like the next video would be something else. I was like, I'm just going to go in and rock it until I'm like, feel like my brain's going to explode. But yeah, so yeah, it did kind of cut there, but it's just, you know, I was doing that back area, and then I came back in later, and I'm just kind of adding some more landscaping to it. You know, just a little area up here in the front. And then I kind of just decided, you know, I was just adding a little more texture to the grounds by using, you know, the terrain paint that has like the flowers in it and everything. Because, you know, your natural grass, like on a farm area, wouldn't be like perfect grass because you're not, who's out there mowing all of this? So just wanted to add a little bit of extra detail and whatnot. So just kind of slapping that around in patches, just kind of incoherently doing it. just random. It makes no sense. You know, there was no planning. It's just slapping it down out there and see where it sticks. You know, just a little bit of extra detail there. But yeah, so I still have, you know, obviously a ton of the, you know, yard work and stuff to do. Not really a ton, but more details and stuff in the yard that I do get to in later parts. I think this is pretty much all I do of it in this one. And then I kind of, you know, jump in. Like I said, I jump around when I'm building. And, you know, I'm trying to finish off the upstairs because that's one thing that I didn't actually do in the last build. Like, I had everything done, but I was like, oh, I didn't build the rooms upstairs. So I was just trying to figure out a layout because we needed 3 bedrooms up there, and it's huge. Like, there's so much space. So, you know, I just kind of ended up putting up Apple Bloom's bedroom as those bedroom and bathroom is going to be that front area right there, but the rooms are already built. And I guess just kind of walled that back off and decided to split that up into 2 bedroom suites for Applejack and Big Mac. So they'll each have their own kind of separate bathrooms. Only poor Granny Smith doesn't have her own bathroom. She's got to use the main one downstairs, but whatever. I wasn't really planning on having like individual bathrooms. It just kind of worked out that way because I had so much space up there and I didn't know what to do with it. But so I'm just kind of adjusting all of those rooms to kind of finish them off and adding doors so that, you know, when I go to decorate, we're all set to go. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Is just me kind of tweaking a little bit of the upstairs floor plan there and adding everything, the base, so that when we come in and decorate, we can finish it off. But yeah. So I will leave this part here. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.